Hello friends, welcome back to my channel EduMyth. Today let us discuss the impacts of urbanization on wildlife. Urbanization, the process by which rural areas transform into urban areas, is a phenomenon that has accelerated dramatically over the past century. As cities expand to accommodate growing populations, they often encroach upon natural habitats, leading to significant ecological consequences. This video explores the multifaceted impacts of urbanization on wildlife, examining habitat loss, fragmentation, pollution, and climate change, as well as the adaptive behaviors of wildlife in urban settings. It also discusses conservation strategies and the importance of integrating wildlife considerations into urban planning. One of the most immediate effects of urbanization on wildlife is habitat loss. As cities expand, forests, wetlands, grasslands, and other natural habitats are converted into residential, commercial, and industrial areas. This transformation not only reduces the overall area available for wildlife, but also disrupts ecosystems that have evolved over millennia. Urban areas occupy only a small fraction of the Earth's surface, yet they can have disproportionate effects on local ecosystems. According to the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, urban areas have increased by over 200% since 1990, leading to significant habitat destruction. For example, in the United States, it is estimated that nearly 50% of the original wetlands have been lost due to urban development. Habitat fragmentation occurs when large habitats are divided into smaller, isolated patches. This fragmentation can lead to edge effects, where the conditions at the boundaries of these patches differ significantly from the interior, often making them less hospitable for many species. Species that require large territories or specific habitat conditions may decline or disappear entirely. For instance, large mammals such as bears and wolves are particularly vulnerable to fragmentation, as they require extensive ranges for foraging and breeding. The loss and fragmentation of habitats lead to decreased biodiversity. Urbanized areas often support fewer species compared to their natural counterparts. Studies have shown that urban environments can reduce species richness by up to 75%. The decline in biodiversity not only affects individual species, but also disrupts ecological processes, leading to a cascade of negative effects on ecosystem health. Urbanization contributes to various forms of pollution that can severely impact wildlife. Urban areas are often characterized by high levels of air pollution due to vehicle emissions, industrial activities, and other anthropogenic sources. Pollutants such as particulate matter and nitrogen oxides can affect animal health, leading to respiratory issues and decreased reproductive success in various species. Birds, for example, are particularly sensitive to air quality changes, which can affect their migration patterns and overall fitness. Urban runoff from roads and buildings can introduce harmful substances into local waterways. Heavy metals, nutrients from fertilizers, and pathogens can degrade water quality, impacting aquatic life. For instance, increased nutrient loading can lead to algal blooms, which deplete oxygen levels in water bodies and create dead zones where few organisms can survive. Soil contamination from industrial waste, heavy metals, and chemicals can adversely affect terrestrial wildlife. Contaminated soils can lead to bioaccumulation of toxins in food webs, ultimately affecting predators at higher trophic levels. Species such as foxes and owls that rely on small mammals for food may suffer from decreased health and reproductive success due to contaminated prey. Urbanization contributes to climate change through increased greenhouse gas emissions from transportation, energy consumption, and industrial processes. The impacts of climate change further exacerbate the challenges faced by wildlife in urbanized areas. Urban areas often experience the urban heat island effect, where temperatures are significantly higher than in surrounding rural areas due to human activities and infrastructure. This temperature increase can alter species distributions and phenology, potentially leading to mismatches between species and their food sources or breeding conditions. Climate change can lead to more extreme weather events such as storms, droughts, and floods. These events can destroy habitats and disrupt breeding cycles for many species. For example, amphibians that rely on specific moisture conditions for breeding may face challenges as rainfall patterns change due to climate variability. As temperatures rise and habitats change, many species may be forced to migrate to cooler areas or higher altitudes. However, urban landscapes often act as barriers to movement, preventing species from reaching suitable habitats. This can lead to localized extinctions and reduced genetic diversity within populations. Despite the challenges posed by urbanization, some wildlife species exhibit remarkable adaptability to urban environments. Certain species thrive in urban settings due to their ability to exploit human resources. For example, raccoons, pigeons, and coyotes have adapted well to city life by utilizing food sources such as garbage and human-provided shelters. These urban exploiters often benefit from reduced competition and predation pressures in cities. Urban wildlife may exhibit changes in behavior to cope with human presence. For instance, some bird species have altered their vocalizations to communicate over the noise of urban environments. Similarly, animals may change their activity patterns to avoid peak human activity times. Over time, some species may undergo evolutionary changes in response to urban pressures. Studies have shown that certain urban populations exhibit differences in morphology and behavior compared to their rural counterparts. For example, urban birds may have shorter wings and altered reproductive strategies that enhance their survival in city environments. Given the profound impacts of urbanization on wildlife, it is crucial to implement effective conservation strategies that address these challenges. Integrating wildlife considerations into urban planning is essential for creating sustainable cities that coexist with nature. This includes preserving green spaces such as parks, gardens, and natural reserves within urban areas. These green spaces not only provide habitat for wildlife, but also offer recreational opportunities for residents. Establishing wildlife corridors can help mitigate habitat fragmentation by providing safe passage for animals between isolated patches of habitat. These corridors can take the form of greenways or linear parks that connect different ecosystems within urban landscapes. Engaging local communities in conservation efforts is vital for promoting coexistence between humans and wildlife. Educational programs that raise awareness about local wildlife and their needs can foster a sense of stewardship among residents. Implementing policies that protect critical habitats and regulate development is essential for conserving wildlife in urban areas. Governments can establish protected areas within cities and enforce zoning regulations that minimize habitat destruction. Restoring degraded habitats within urban areas can enhance biodiversity and provide refuge for wildlife. Restoration projects may involve replanting native vegetation, removing invasive species, and rehabilitating wetlands or other critical ecosystems. The impact of urbanization on wildlife is profound and multifaceted, encompassing habitat loss, pollution, climate change, and behavioral adaptations among species. While urban environments pose significant challenges for many wildlife populations, some species demonstrate remarkable resilience and adaptability. To ensure the survival of diverse wildlife in increasingly urbanized landscapes, it is essential to adopt comprehensive conservation strategies that integrate ecological considerations into urban planning and community engagement efforts. As cities continue to grow, the need for a harmonious coexistence between humans and wildlife becomes ever more critical. By prioritizing biodiversity in urban development and fostering a culture of conservation among residents, we can work towards creating sustainable cities that not only meet human needs, but also support thriving ecosystems for future generations. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for latest updates. Don't forget to like and share our video. And comment down below your views on this topic.